I think on the question of the oath, these are very sincere, respectable, good people.
I've been a judge for 10 years.
Right, and so their view is that that their oath requires them to follow the law. And here, the law is that an ineligible person cannot vote. If he votes, it's a felony. And so here, they're concerned that because of the inaccurate descriptions, the way the roster is done, the way the rule is written, that they're aiding and abetting ineligible people voting. And so the question then is, good sir, is that with respect to their conscience, and they are conscientious people, should they be required to follow this Secretary of State policy when they think it's illegal? And they're emotionally, psychologically, and personally affected. Now, another person may not be affected that way, but should a court excuse these gentlemen from implementing this policy when they're affected that way? So I suppose the Secretary of State will say, well, dang it, it's my policy. But it's the illegal policy from their point of view.
The election is in progress right now.
Right, that's
hundreds of thousands of people have already voted.
Right, but these are people, and they have a conscience, and they're going to be election judges on November 8th, and they're seeking a court order that they don't need to implement this rule at their precinct. And so we're not affecting the election. We're protecting them from this violation of law. They don't want to participate in the unlawful conduct of the Secretary of State, their election officials. They don't want to participate in other election judges doing it. Also, imagine how much good these gentlemen will do if they get the court order. Maybe one ineligible person will not vote because of their conscientiousness, and that means one less felony. I mean, they don't want that on their conscience when these ineligible voters are because they don't know or whatever, they're prosecuted. We're raising tens of thousands of dollars, even nationwide, so we can represent each election judge in the state. And so they need to contact me or Andy, then we'll file the same lawsuit for them. And I expect to file dozens of these in the next few days. They're going to say, look, conscientious judges, you don't need to follow this rule. I mean, it's a beautiful thing. We have wonderful judges in Minnesota, wonderful courts, and when they're given proper cases against the government, they will rule against the government.
We only have one question for the courts. Does the Secretary of State have the authority to do this, or does he not? And that's the one question that we're doing everything we can to get to. Thank you.